What's up, party people? This is DFW Real Estate Weekly. I am Todd Tremonti, and as is always the case, I am not alone. We've got the English wonder himself, the Yanni Donnie.
Hello.
And we have the full price Courtney Triple C.
Hi.
And today, it must be said, look, these are things people don't often say out loud, but we're talking about relocation companies. If you have been relocated with your company, or you know someone being relocated with their company, it's time that we pull the curtain back and we tell you the truth. And the truth is not pretty.
We pull the tablecloth off the table.
I don't know that that's like a euphemism I'm familiar with, but
No, I just felt like another magic
it's
trick
often how it feels to work with a relocation company. It's like the table was set for a nice meal, and then someone just ripped it, and they didn't do the cool trick where everything stays in place.
Right.
They did the thing
That's where my head was at.
they did the thing where they ripped the tablecloth and everyone's drink spilled on them.
Where
and the
my
food
head was, it's a
on the
magic
floor.
trick, and working with some of these ruler companies is like a trick. You get tricked into it.
Good connection.
And if
you.
I haven't yet given away how this episode's going to go,
We feel great about them.
it's going to look a lot like me telling you that relocation companies, as a general rule, are professional extortionists, offer no value whatsoever to the person relocating, only complicate transactions, cost a lot of people a lot of money, and should be illegal.
I was way off base. I thought they were going to be great. No,
What other choice do we have?
Like anything but this would be the choice. I would say literally any choice other than this is great. But here's the difficulty. Let's rewind for a second. Let's start with a question. Are relocation companies helpful? The answer is no, they're not. To you as a home buyer or seller, if you're relocating with your job, they are helpful to your company. And what I'm about to state is my opinion, and it's based on 20 plus years of experience in residential real estate with people moving for their job with their company with a relocation package, which means a lot of different things in different places. But let's just say you work for a big corporation, Courtney, and they come to you and they say, hey, there's a job opportunity in Dallas. We'd like you to consider it. And if you make the move and you want the job, then we'll take care of all your moving. There's a full relocation package. And then you say, well, I'll consider it, blah, blah, blah. You make the decision. They go, okay, here's the relocation package. I'll pay for movers. We'll pay for, a rental for up to 3 months while you figure out housing and X amount of dollars.
they make it really, really attractive, as in like, we are here to help you.
Yeah. So then what they do is they very often go out and hire a third-party relocation company. I'm not going to name any names because honestly, I don't like any of them. And so then what happens on the background is that relocation company, at best, finds a real estate agent or has a real estate agent in their network. They form these networks. And then they say, okay, this is the agent you have to use. Now pause for a second, because a typical relocation company is charging your real estate agent north of a 40% referral fee. More than 40% of all commissions collected.
I've seen 42, 44, 46.
More than 40% of total commissions collected by the agent have to be paid back to the relocation company, which in my opinion is exactly how the company covers the cost of the bulk of your relocation. So the company, XYZ Corporation, says, we're going to bring in this relo company. And the relo company says, hey, you don't really have to pay us. We'll provide all these services and we'll get paid from the transaction. The company's like, great, sounds like a good deal to me. And then they basically extort the real estate agent for a big chunk of their commission. Now there is a scenario where the real estate agent would not have this buyer or maybe seller without the relocation company. But that's not how we work. Really good agents often already have the client. So you're online, you're doing some research about moving to Dallas. You find us, we talk, we send you some videos, we get on Zoom, we send you a booklet. We're talking, we've earned your trust. You're like, man, they've got great information. I want to use you. And your relocation company's like, great, give us the name of this agent you want to use. And then they say to us, we want you to pay us a 44% referral fee. And we're like, wait, it's not a referral. We already knew Courtney through our marketing and education and information. And they're like, well, we don't care. she has a relocation package from this company. If you want her to be your client, you now have to pay us 44%.
Can I give you a very real world situation where this has happened this year?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about this, Courtney. We had a client that we helped sell their home a couple of years ago. They moved out of state, and we found them somebody to work with out of state that we thought was great. They were then moving back because of work, and they had a relocation package. And they said to the company, we want to use the Todd Tremonti home selling team. We know them, we trust them, we've used them before. They sold our house, they did a phenomenal job. We already have an agent that we would want to work with. That's who we want to work with. And they said, okay, you need to let said relocation company know, and they will have the Todd Tremonti team do some paperwork. So they did that, and it was a north of 40% referral fee.
When it wasn't a referral.
When it wasn't a referral, because we already knew them. We, because we appreciate the clients, said we will do this on a very rare occasion and help you out. We had to fill in some paperwork. I like to think we're a pretty darn good organization and team. And I think the 900 plus reviews and the hundreds of clients over the years would probably agree with that.
And every rating organization in the history of residential real estate puts us in the top.
However, because we, quote, don't have a relocation department, and because we, quote, do not have a relocation department manager, and because we, quote, do not offer relocation department training, we were denied to be a part of the relocation company network. We were not good enough to be a part of the relocation company network because we don't have a relocation department, even though we help hundreds of clients a year, and we've helped thousands of clients over the 20 years.
Now,
we were denied.
I think all of our viewers and listeners at this point know that we were not sad to be denied, to be a part of their club of extortion.
We were sad behalf of the clients.
We were sad that we didn't get to care for our client, and that they, because of the amount of money supposedly provided by the company, didn't get to use us, the company that they already trusted. Let me ask you this, Courtney. Based on everything I just said, what type of agents do you think work with relocation companies?
Right. I mean, I know what you mean. I have a question, though.
Yeah.
40% of what?
Okay, so we have to be careful when
I
we talk.
want to talk brass tacks.
We have to be careful when we talk about commissions because of licensing laws. But let's just say that the commission is a big fat round percentage of the fee.
Just call it $10,000.
So let's just say whatever price you were buying your home for, and whatever fee we charged amounted to $10,000.
Okay.
We have to send them $4,400 of that.
Oh, you have to send them 40% of your commission.
44% of everything we collect for the job we did.
At which point, then it can be split between the agent and the broker, depending on what.
And
because they're arguing you wouldn't have this client.
Yeah.
Yes.
Without us.
And they also are arguing, well, we're handling a lot of the communication and the paperwork, when in reality, they're adding paperwork and communication that was utterly unnecessary to the transaction.
I would say that an agent that takes this client is an agent who takes any client. I just want a gig.
Or that's desperate for a client.
Yeah.
Or that doesn't have any expenses tied to the transaction because they don't have any systems or structure or value that they add. They're probably hardworking, nice people.
Sure.
But they're going to take a transaction at a 44% referral fee that was not a referral, which is, there's no integrity in that, right? That's not true. I'm paying a fee for something that didn't happen. Now, if it was, hey, here's another relocation client that you didn't already have, it's a little different, but you're still not going to see world-class agents typically looking to occupy their time to do business at 44% less revenue.
And that's why it's dangerous for the client, right? So
that's the whole
talking
point.
to you, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer that is moving to DFW on a relocation package.
We're out.
You need to talk to your company and explain this to them, that this is going to be damaging to you, that you are not going to have the industry leaders in negotiation or just...
or market knowledge or professionalism or technology or staff support.
You're getting the people that are willing to give away almost half of their commission because they don't have another choice.
Now, there's one exception to this, and just in full honesty and integrity, I've got to say it. There are some good agents out there that feel a little differently about this than I do. They would say they're going to take that business no matter what, And their goal is that the next time that person needs to buy or sell, then they'll have a little bit better financial arrangement, meaning they hope they don't have to pay the relocation company the fee. Now, just to clarify what Ian just said, I want to restate it a little differently, because if you're not listening very closely, you might hear us saying relocation companies are bad because we don't get paid as much. But Ian's point was, this is why it's bad for the person who's relocating, the homeowner, the buyer, or the seller, because all the incentives in the structure here draw in a lower quality agent, less committed, less professional, less full-time, all those things. Top level businesses have expenses. They're actually investing into the experience that the buyer or seller has. They have staff, technology, commitment, marketing, all these types of things. An agent that has expenses, their profit margin's a little bit different, right? They have a more reasonable profit margin. Therefore, 40+% off the top all of a sudden becomes, either not profitable or significantly less profitable. That's not a good position to put the consumer in. Now, it's easy to say the consumer just wants as cheap as possible, but it's no cheaper for the consumer. The fee is going back to the relocation company, which I have always believed then is how they help that employer fund this relocation. None of this is to the advantage of the employee that's relocating. The way I see it, they're getting a lower quality agent. They're probably losing the money on the real estate transaction, less of a deal, less convenient, more risk, less ease of transaction, all that. And it's being communicated as dollars paid to help you move. I'm not saying it's never gone well. I'm saying every time I've ever witnessed one or been a part of one, it's been a disaster.
So what's your advice for the person who needs to relocate? I mean, is there ever an option where they're like, we can use this company or we'll give you a payout?
Yeah. So the answer is, Ian hinted at it a minute ago. If you know you're relocating because you're a catch, right? Like you're great at your job, I think you should use that leverage to tell your company, I want to use the agent that I want to use, and I already had chosen them. I don't want them to have to pay this exorbitant relocation commission. Mm-hmm. I'll just handle it differently with them. You just give me the cash you're willing to give me, and I'll take care of it with my agent. Now, if you're relocating because you just need the job desperately and you'll go wherever the job is, I'm not telling you to put your life and career at risk for your real estate agent. I would never ask anybody to do that for us. I'm just telling you, be prepared. It may be that this is a structure that's going to have you working with a less professional, less capable, lower standard agent or broker. And I'm sure there's going to be some agents listening to this that are like, you're a scumbag. We should do everything no matter what. We should just help people no matter what. And the answer is, we're going to help people no matter what. But there are times we're going to say to them like, hey, we're not your best option here because this financial model just doesn't work for us. And here's the ways that you ought to be cautious to protect yourself going forward. So that's what I'm saying is advocate for yourself. Don't just go along to get along with whatever relocation they do. Interview the agent anyway. And you might say, look, I'm happy to use this deal, but I'm not happy to work with that agent. I'm not working with just anyone because that's how this works. This person's a clown, and I'm not going to put my family through that. We have been a part of them where we have said we are not paying that fee, but we will help with this deal. And they've worked with us a little bit, but usually that's like take it or leave it. And then their participation in the process, the transaction after that, literally only adds unnecessary complexity, doesn't do anything to advocate for the client at all. They're just trying to document and rationalize their existence. So in summary, we have found in 20 plus years that relocation companies only complicate the process for the employee that's moving. They seem to benefit the employer by pulling money out of the transaction from agents to help fund the move, and they're attracting lower quality agents. At best, they're attracting a quality agent who's willing to do a transaction at low to no profit for future opportunity. And the last thing I'll say about that is I don't think you ever want to be your professional person's least profitable client. In any situation, I don't think you want to be your CPA's like least valuable client. Subconsciously or worse, you're not going to get their absolute premium best, even if they're trying. So I just think it's a bad system. I think it's a bad arrangement. If you disagree with how we're feeling about that, let us know in the comments or shoot us a note. My email is Courtney@toddtremani.com.
I'd be happy to help.
Well, folks, look, that's it. This is more of a warning episode than anything. Hopefully it's been educational for you. If you or a friend or a family member is relocating or maybe relocating with an employer, send them this episode. Leave us a review if this has been helpful for you. But this is basically a public service episode on just saying, hey, be very careful. Doesn't mean don't do it, but be cautious, protect yourself. Let us know if we can help you in any way. But this is not a type of business that we go around looking for because we find it's not best for the client and consumer. And of course, we don't think it's good for the agent either. And ultimately, I don't think it's good for the company that's relocating people if it's not good for their employees. So that's how we feel about that. We also feel pretty strongly about mortgage financing. And if you're going to get a mortgage or refinance and related to any real estate transaction whatsoever, we think you ought to be talking to Patrick Glaros and his team for mortgage financing, refinancing, or thinking about your property financing as it relates to your wealth building. Check them out at patrickglaros.com. Patrick's as good as it gets. Only guy I've ever used for personal mortgage in over 20 years. patrickglaros.com, NMLS number 308804. You can apply online. You can get some information. You can use some calculators that are accurate and helpful with taxes and payments and cash down payments and cash at closing and all those things. patrickglaros.com. Hey, folks, stay tuned for our other episodes. There's some bonus episodes coming up. Check out the YouTube channels and anywhere you get podcasts. This is DFW Real Estate Weekly with Todd Tremani. If this has been helpful, leave us a review. We'll talk to you on the next one.